Good afternoon. It's a changing world, and we recognized it 4 years ago, and I want to thank County Council because all the technology in this building is top shelf. This is coding more coordinating everything together. So you can imagine if you had a shooter going in Christiana Mall, within minutes we would have a drone over it.
So it was you that came up with the idea right after we launched Smart 911. You thought if we just had an application or an app out on a smartphone, it should connect to 911. And then expanded on that even more to say that, well, maybe we could get some video integration to go with that connection to the 911 system. And here we are a little bit less than 4 years later, and we've achieved that. We got there, and we worked diligently with 5 or 6 key partners. Red Clay Consolidated School District, they stepped up and they were very interested in making this system work. We have Concord Mall, Brandywine Town Center, so I see this becoming a really great, needed application that's going to not only enhance the 911 system, it's going to enhance the way our field responders respond to events.
Jeff, ideas are easy to come by, but you had to integrate and improve a whole lot of systems. The 911 Center, NC4, all these different programs that are cutting edge into a program that nobody has yet, which in the country, which has video panic buttons, one way, which is important. That you get a lot of credit for, and I think it's going to save lives as we go forward. And you always got to stay on the cutting edge of this stuff, but you've done a great job in bringing it up to this standard.
Well, I appreciate it. It's your support that made it work, so thank you, sir.
We manage all major fires with the volunteers dragging it from here and sending it out to hopefully their cars. And we bought a pretty sophisticated drone that'll be able to, non-weaponized, just nice cameras, and be able to manage it a lot better than the way we do it now. This was just a matter of taking all things Jeff has done with upgrading the 911 center and the chief setting with the NC4, and bringing it all together in a manageable approach. If you have, say, for example, Jewish Community Center, we would hope that we'd have somebody from their building come here, and we'd manage whatever that crisis was, or at a mosque. We have pre-approved people that have been vetted, and they're expected to be here within 15 minutes to the back room to help manage whatever that, in the case of maybe a terrorist attack, whatever that is involving any of our schools, malls, or other large facilities. It'll be managed here by the different managers in the whole system. Christiana Mall has volunteered and want to be part of it in terms of a doctor, which makes sense. If they have casualties, they'll be able to prepare the hospital. Every part of it will be linked very easily now. There's nobody in the country that has an app that you push a button. That dimension is one way. That was the hard part. We can't push a button and see inside of the building. They have to push it. So that was something that we had to create to get everybody's ability to lend us that different IP address. And what you saw this morning was the minute you pushed it, things shift here in case of a major emergency of a shooter or a major fire. It will shift here. Instead of directing from the console, they'll come out here, the 911 call operator, and the response team will be responding here for the longer management of whatever that serious event is. So this really was, again, a combination of all the things that we had to put in place to get to this point in time where we can now say this is probably the best in the country because nobody has that. And when you get to this point, everything you do from this point on is really your own people that are creating it. And I got to thank the whole management team here. Joe Bryan, not even there. Everybody in the management team out here in public safety, for whether it's the screen or the 911 center or the equipment that all the departments have put together, and the paramedics are doing the same thing, all coming together in a coded, coordinated management fashion here that I think is going to prepare us for the future. And we've had some, I never want to threaten anybody, but we know that there's problems around us, and it's going to continue to be that way. The better we can get prepared and start to create these memorandums of agreement, who's going to respond here and what time period, and no delay, I think we're going to be doing a good thing for all of Newcastle County. And that, again, it's in coordination with our county council, who, without any question, funded these requests. And I have to thank them and everybody from public safety and everybody that's cooperating us here today, and all the malls that we have to get into, and all the schools that we hope that will follow. And I hope we never need it, but hope this equipment just goes to waste. But my bet is it won't. But thank you all for coming.
When an emergency strikes, seconds and minutes can mean the difference between life and death. Every 15 seconds that an active shooter has unrestricted access to more people, he will claim another victim. Or when someone goes into cardiac arrest and their heart stops beating, every 1 minute that passes without the initiation of CPR, there's a 10% decrease in survival. It goes without saying, rapid response is critical to saving lives in an emergency. Schools, businesses, healthcare, and government facilities experience emergencies of all types every day. If an emergency occurs at work, the Rave Panic Button smartphone app quickly connects you to 911 and at the same time sends an alert to your colleagues and any security personnel on campus. The app can be used during any type of crisis situation, such as an active shooter on campus or an incident requiring police, fire, or emergency medical services. How does the Rave Panic Button app work? During the initial setup, administrators are chosen for your facility and will enter information about the campus at www.smart911facility.com. They can enter facility details such as buildings, floor plans, and landlines, as well as employee names, email addresses, and mobile phone numbers. Once you've been entered into the system by an administrator, you can then download and register with the app. iPhone users will download from the Apple App Store and Android users from the Google Play Store. In the store, click Search, then type Rave Panic Button in the search bar. The app is intended to be used by all employees in a business, healthcare, or government environment. However, on a school campus, keep in mind that the app is only to be used by faculty and staff, not students. Now, let's say that you have downloaded the Panic Button app and an emergency situation occurs on campus. Whether you are calling from an iPhone or an Android, first identify the button option that closest relates to your emergency. Hold the button down for 1.5 seconds to activate the emergency call. While iPhone users will immediately be connected to 911, Android users will be asked to first confirm the emergency call by pressing the green send button. At the same time that you are being connected to 911, an emergency alert is sent to all employees that need to be notified at your facility. For instance, if you are calling to report there is an active shooter on campus, all employees will receive the alert. However, if you are calling to report a medical emergency, only key administrators and staff with medical training will be notified. Now that we've discussed how the Panic Button app can help in an emergency, what are the next steps? Number 1, ensure your employer has your mobile phone number and email address so you will be authorized to register with the app. Number 2, download the Rave Panic Button app, then register your information. Number 3, in the event of an emergency, use the Rave Panic Button app to be connected to 911 and automatically notify others on campus. There are answers to the most commonly asked questions about Rave Panic Button online at www.ravepanicbutton.com, but it's worth addressing a few of them in this video. The first question most commonly asked is it a requirement to download and use the Rave Panic Button app? While most organizations have not required their employees to download the Rave Panic Button app, it is highly recommended that you do. The app provides a faster notification and communication process, which could be life-saving in an emergency. The second question states, do employees have to use the Rave Panic Button app to call 911? While you are encouraged to use the app to make an emergency call, you should contact 911 in the fastest and safest way possible. The third question most commonly asked is, what happens if an individual activates the Rave Panic Button app while off campus? The answer to this question is, your phone will still dial 911, but no emergency notifications will be sent to employees due to your location at the time of the call. And finally, is it worth providing my mobile phone number to my employer if I do not have a phone that can support the Rave Panic Button app, or if I simply do not want to download it? This is a great question. If you do not have the app installed on your phone, you can still receive SMS text and email notifications when there is an incident on your campus that you need to be aware of. Therefore, it is highly recommended that you still provide your contact information to your employer, whether or not you intend to download the app. To learn more about the Rave Panic Button app, go to www.ravepanicbutton.com.